Hey guys, welcome to the final few days of trade period here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to get all the details surrounding Ben Ainsworth and how he got to Carlton, the process of the conversation, the role that he's going to play, and some interesting little insights into what he had to say about everything. So firstly, he spoke about how exactly this deal and this conversation really came about.
How has this come about, if you can set the scene for us a little bit?
Yeah, it all sort of happened pretty quickly last week, but stoked to be getting back home with family and friends, and probably just a new opportunity. And I was probably getting a little bit stale towards the back end of my career up here, so good to get back into Melbourne, that's for sure.
So, yeah, I was going to say it did unfold quickly from the outside looking in, and you're saying that for yourself. So what was said in your exit meeting? Because, as I said, you recommitted until 2028 on that deal last year. Was it the seed planted in your exit meeting, or did it come after that?
Not really. I think it was mostly just through talks with my manager, Robbie D'Orazio, and also with my partner at home. And I think it's just the best opportunity going forward for us to get back to Melbourne. And stoked to be on board at the Blues.
Then he touched on his role, and it was noted specifically by Kane, and you'll see it here, just the selfless nature of the way that he plays the game and the way that he played the game in the Gold Coast system and how that might change at Carlton.
Is it the role as much as anything, Ben? Like, would you like to be playing the game in a different role, and was Carlton able to sell that to you?
I think so. I think I see myself as a player that gets up and down the ground and has an impact up the ground and then gets back and kicks goals and set them up. So I think, Carlton have expressed that. That's the way they want me to play, and I can't wait for that.
So I'm your biggest fan. I thought you played some excellent footy, and that role is thankless at times, and you probably run more than anyone, and there's a lot of unrewarded running. So did you feel like your role had changed at Gold Coast? Because I thought you played the role you described reasonably well. What did shift?
It's probably numerous factors that come into play there. I think the way Dimmer likes to play is very team-orientated, and I love playing under him for the last 2 years. But, the opportunity to come down to the Blues and play a little bit more of a unstructured role, I guess, is an exciting opportunity.
I am curious about that. The reference to playing a really structured team role at Gold Coast and then coming to Carlton and that being a little bit different. So, we have to wait and see what that looks like for Carlton. But it seems like maybe we'll be able to have him feature more so in the chains. Then he touched on Michael Voss and his conversation with him.
So your discussions with Michael Voss, you've chatted to him. How'd that go? Yeah,
very good. He's a ripping fella, old Vossi. Obviously, fantastic player in his time, and then as a coach, he's been very successful as well. Obviously, down year last year at the Blues, but he just wants me to play to my strengths next year and bring what I bring, I guess. So he's been great in the process.
Contract. So I touched on this a few weeks ago when I did the video on him, with the potential of him actually coming to Carlton. And keep in mind, on the 21st of July 2024, he signed a 4-year extension, which would keep him at the Gold Coast Suns until 2028. So, the question naturally turns to what happens with the contract.
Ben, just given you signed the contract not long ago, not expecting you to go into sensitive specifics with it, but do you just carry that contract down to Carlton?
I believe so. I'm going down tomorrow to sort it all out. So I think Robbie will sort that out on my behalf, and then I'll just get stuck into the footy side of things, I reckon.
He touched on his links with current Carlton players, and then he was also asked about conversations that he may have had with players in the last few weeks.
Now, who do you know there? Because you've got a former teammate there I still think you're pretty tight with. He played with you at Gippsland Power, Vic Country, the big bear in the square, Harry Mackay. You'd be linking back up with him?
Yeah, so I played with Harry for a couple of years, I reckon, down at Gippsland Power. Love playing with him, and then obviously Weeders in Vic Country. So it'd be great to reunite with those blokes, and obviously stars in their own right. So can't wait to get down there.
Does something excite you about, playing in front of 80,000 at the MCG, something you wouldn't have experienced, much different atmosphere clearly on Gold Coast? How much of a selling point's that?
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable. I think, we sort of started to experience it at the Suns in the first final series last year, or this year, sorry. And to be able to do that every week, maybe next year with the Blues is a fantastic opportunity. And, I can't wait.
Sorry, Kane, you go.
I was just going to say, is there a teammate that you've admired from Carlton, and now teammate that you're looking forward to lining up alongside of?
Definitely Patrick Cripps. Been in talks with him the last couple of weeks just about, potentially making the move down, and obviously a star, two-time Brownlow medalist, and definitely can't wait to be playing alongside him rather than against him, that's for sure.
So when I heard that, I thought, hang on, was Cripps part of the recruiting process? What did he say? Was he selling the Carlton dream? That's a really interesting little bit there. Or maybe it was just when he had the initial meeting with Carlton, Cripps was in the meeting. But if he's been speaking to Cripps on a number of occasions, maybe Cripps has been, selling the dream and doing the pitching. He touched on the landscape of trade period. And I think as Carlton supporters, there's almost a benefit here. We are being thrown into the understanding of the modern landscape of trade period and the business of, players being looked at as assets. We're talking about the Charlie Curnow deal shortly. But yeah, he touched on his thoughts around the landscape of trade period.
What's your overview of the whole trade period and how ruthless it's become?
Yeah, it has become ruthless, Kano. It's definitely a process. Mine happened really, really quickly, but I've got other people like Brado and other people that I know that are going through different scenarios and might take a little bit longer. But yeah, it's become ruthless. It's not getting to the stage where it's not to the player's consent, but I think it might get to that stage, to be fair. But it's a fantastic process for all involved.
Did you feel like if you didn't want to be traded, like you could have just said, no, I'm happy. I've got 3 years. I signed. I committed. I'm not going anywhere. Did you feel like you had the power to do that, or you felt like you were genuinely pushed out?
I think I definitely could have stayed, and they made that clear to me that I'd definitely be welcome back. But I think when you hear in the background that it's probably the best decision for yourself going forward in your football to sort of explore your options, you sort of start to think of your next opportunity and where that might come. So I think that was the best course of action for myself and my family.
And finally, Ben Ainsworth, he touched on other teams that were interested in him and how he ended up choosing Carlton over the other interested teams.
And Carlton are obviously interested from the outset, I think, Ben. But was there ever any scope to go anywhere else? Did you have the luxury of a decision to make?
Yeah, a little bit. There was a couple of teams interested there, but the Blues sort of made the initial pitch, and were definitely interested from afar. So caught up with them maybe a week or two ago, and they expressed their interest, and yeah, I couldn't be happier.
Yep. And do you do that in person or do you do it online? I mean, that's not many meetings are safe these days, it would appear. How did you go about speaking to Vossi?
It was just the manager, Robbie, that teed it up, and then caught up behind the scenes, and they sort of just pitched where they see me fitting into the Blues, and the potential outcome. So as I've said, it's stoked to the opportunity, and I can't wait to get down there and meet all the boys and get cracked into pre-season.
Later in the interview, he then touched on Bailey Humphrey. They did ask him if Bailey Humphrey would be moving from the Gold Coast Suns. He offered more of a straight bat answer and basically just said he's supporting him as a friend. But I am curious, there's a bit of Bailey Humphrey smoke around the footy fan forums, so we'll see how that one plays out. But that's Ben Ainsworth. Those were his initial thoughts on his move to Carlton, how it came about. And yeah, I mean, he's pretty mature. He speaks in a very mature way, pretty matter of fact. And so, yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know what you picked up on, if anything at all. We'll chat about it below.